again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to this press conference reaction video. I'm, of course, your host, Martin the Governor Lambert. It's a Friday night until the football club's press officer or room get back to me, or Russell gets back to me and lets me know which day they're going to go for. You may still well see these Thursday night and Friday night combinations, just so we'd like to see what the team may be tomorrow. Got so many permutations, it's difficult keeping track of it. As he alluded to himself, Cookie, this is, of course, in his press conference this morning. Ben Moore's in the room. Welcome in, Ben Moore. Let's get to 120 likes, says Ben Moore. It's a big ask. It's a big ask. I do like that, though, Ben. Always aim for the stars. That's what I always say. Anthony, still welcome in, my man. Duncan, welcome in. I'll let the room get full. As always, I want to hear from you guys and girls this evening. Get as many of you as we possibly can on the show. This is your platform to have your say. From score prediction to team news to whatever you want to talk about, Ipswich Town FC is our club, and let's discuss it together. Right, joining me this evening, is a very wise man. He is, of course, our media mogul. Matthew Phillips, welcome in. How you doing?
Good, thanks. Shout out Hoppy Robson. You on the Hoppies?
Yeah, I'm on it. Yeah, look, the advert's so good. I played it twice to start with. Just to get that brand recognition out there. But no, great beer, great guy, Josh. Obviously going to Burton tomorrow. He managed to snag 2 tickets courtesy of our cruncher. Is there somebody that Cruncher doesn't know?
Yeah. I did wonder who you were bringing in when you said, "Here comes a wise man." I thought we've got another guest in, have we?
I did see you say to your wife, "Oh, we're not the guest, have we?" I saw the governor sees and knows all, my man. He knows, sees and knows all. Duncan's gone for a 2-0 score prediction. I've just dropped the link in the chat for Jeremy. He's asked for the link before. Whether he gets himself on or not, we'll wait to see. Colin Plum watching the cricket all afternoon. Welcome in, Colin. And we've got our third contributor. Before we do, we sat down earlier today with new Ipswich Town FC women's captain, Blue Wilson. I know you've been working all day today, but what a name for a captain of our football club, eh? Blue Wilson.
I watched the show last night. I didn't get my Ipswich fix, did I, this week, because of my Newport County traffic jam.
True.
So I watched the show last night. So Joe said that they voted. They voted for the captain, and Blue came out top.
They did. Yeah, they did. Yeah, Blue came out on top. They put their names into the hat, and then they all voted, and it all went round that way.
Here's a question for you. We've had this kind of drip feed of like women players turning professional. Brilliant. Has anyone actually from the club said Ipswich Town women are now a professional club?
Well, no. And I asked this question almost last night with Joe, and he answered it, and he didn't answer it. You know, in that really media mogul trained way that you like to help out of the FA with. Yes, absolutely. A non-answer. Right, let's bring in our third member of the wheel. Mr. Richard Moss, here he is. He's raced back from wherever he was this evening.
I've literally raced back from reffing. You know, Matt,
Good, man.
The last game I reffed, I had to give 4 penalties to one team.
Oh, my God.
4? Why 4?
4.
More? How many minutes each way?
The other team they were playing literally just wanted to kick They just wanted to kick them.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Ben Moore. Matt, have you done that letter to the FA about the poor standard of refs in our league?
Oh, yeah. So that referee, what you got there? Is that Paolo?
It is liquid football.
Oh, liquid football. We've got such expertise knowledge now on the way they bears, haven't we? Yes. So Craig Hicks was the referee last week that we all thought was rubbish against Morecambe. And lo and behold, he did the Orient QPR as well. Equally underwhelming performance. So, I think Sal's going to write a stern...
I didn't agree with you, though, Matt. No one agreed with you that you said it should have been a penalty.
You're on all fours on the ground and the ball hits your hand. I want a penalty all day. You'd be moaning if that weren't a pen at Portman Road.
No, never a pen.
No, I know. 100%.
There is something in there. When on all fours and the ball hits your hand, there's something in there. Not saying what it is.
Where's the Manscaped adverts and we need them?
20% off with the code TT. Making testies their besties.
He's in the chat anyway. I think he might be on all fours. The Preston Pump.
The press. Oh, poor boy. Nick Muller. My ticket came today, just very, very late. Neil says Dan Barnard. Jeremy Lowe.
What's been going on with the tickets, mine? What's been going down? People haven't got their tickets.
What's a shambles, Matt?
SeatGeek.
Yeah.
Someone had put I can't remember who it was. They'd said now or before and after, and it was SeatGeek with a shirt, and then it was a flaming building right now.
What a time to be joining the show, Josh. Join as Matt mentions being on all fours. Stephen Parry, you say today Preston Pump and he shall appear. Then grab the ball with his feet as a free kick. I hate that when players go down and they grab the ball, because the referee then is almost obliged to either book him for an intentional handball or give him a free kick, and they always get the free kick, don't they, Crunch?
All 4 penalties.
Yeah, but if you were a defender, you'd do that, wouldn't you? You'd grab the ball.
I was never quick enough to crawl over and grab the ball, mate. I was never quick enough.
Just asking that question. Have you done your team for the Fantasy League?
He has.
Inter Matano.
How many have you got in? We must have over 100 now.
It's loads. It's loads. It's now 3 pages long. 3 pages long. I don't know how many are on each page. I'll work it out at some point. Ben Moore, I'm playing some Football Manager, watching the great show Brentford versus Arsenal. Julian, hi Nick.
Martin's got 2 teams in. Martin's got 2. He's done one for Colin.
Yes, we've got the Goat's got a team in, and I've got a team in.
Colin's Aces or Goat's Aces is called.
Goat's Aces. And that's just a negotiation. Because
who's managing this team?
Well, Colin is. I felt like Marcus Evans, because he said he put his team list in, and I said, "No, Colin, the budget isn't big enough for that."
I was going to say it's only 100 million. It's only 100 mil.
So we took out the top target and put in Josh Brownhill from Burnley or wherever the hell he's from.
It's difficult, isn't it, Matt, to pick 15 players with only 100 million in the kitty?
Yeah, it is. It is difficult. I'll just give a shout out to Colin. He phoned me while I was in the traffic jam to make sure I was okay. I appreciate that, Colin.
Yeah, I was driving and I thought, is Matt really in a traffic jam or is he just not fancy coming?
Colin said,
I think he was, because he sounded like he was in a car, Martin. He did actually sound like he was in the car.
He's a good guy, Colin.
Colin said to me, see if you can get up there for half time. I could hear you in the background going, we're only playing Newport.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother.
He's a good guy. I'm just trying to look for his team. I know I've done it, but honestly, he wanted Son, Grealish. He wanted all these Mo Salah, and I was like, Colin, I haven't got the money to give you for that. Anyway,
it's budgeting.
We got Bam Bam's Blues in the chat and in the league. Blue Punch. What time do you need to leave to get to Burton for 1 p.m? Crunch. What time do you need to leave to get to Burton for 1 p.m. tomorrow?
Depends where he's driving from.
I
need to know where he's coming from.
Yeah,
that's a great response.
If it's Cornwall, leave pretty early.
Anyway, the Weybridge Inn. If you're going tomorrow, get yourself to the Weybridge Inn, because we've got Butcher's Bandage and Pablo's Pale.
Brilliant.
Can you get some of that Pablo in a carton and bring it back? Because no one can buy that Pablo for love nor money. It's always sold out.
I've got some apple juice in the fridge. I'll just pour it out.
Tip it out. Get some. Yes, that's what the old Gladstone down the road here do. Get it in the carton, get it home. Because Pablo, honestly, it's like gold dust. It's like red diesel.
It's forever sold out, is it, Pablo's?
It's like red diesel, Matt. No one can find it anywhere, but if you do, it's pretty good. Just so. Julian, I'll drive a petrol car before you want to try and find the police on my vehicle. Julian took, I know, but just check it as I'm away and you can't get to all the games. I'll do it as a chat in the chat. Right. Cookie had a press conference today. I've got a few nuggets from there. I'm going to ask you individually. I'll start with, who should I start with? I'll start with you, Matt. Great question. Well, great comment from Cookie here. If we win at Burton tomorrow, does that mean we're going up? If we lose tomorrow, is it not going to be good enough? What do you say in response to Cookie there?
Yeah, well, he's obviously found out that there's been a bit of a meltdown this week over the draw against Portman and the loss to Newport. I don't know. Why is everyone getting so emotive over it? There's 46 games to go. It's got 45 games to go. We've gone out in the Carabao. I wouldn't be too fussed about that. Actually, the good thing about the Carabao was it got a few players some minutes into their legs. Aluko
20 minutes, by the way, for that from the stadium, the pub.
Oh, really?
God, just got all the timings.
Yeah.
So yeah, I actually, when you look at the game in isolation, we said last Sunday, didn't we? We're 2-1 down and going into the 90th minute. We've made 2 mistakes. We've somehow pulled a draw out from the jaws of defeat. Good result in the end. Gets us a point. I actually worked out today what I think we'll need to go up automatic. Do you want to know?
Okay, yeah, go for it.
So I've worked out we can have about 10 defeats. I'm allowing 10 defeats, 10 draws, and 26 wins. Sounds a lot, that, doesn't it? So that's 78 for 3 points, 10 points for the draw, 88. That would take us up, I reckon. That would take us up comfortably in the top 2. I think we'll be champions, as I keep saying. Worst case scenario, 10 defeats.
All right, we've got Stephen Parry. He's right. A marathon 8-1 in the first mile. Got that bit later on. Nick Muller. We should give him the time. Paul Cook got a new team. Julian, how did your comments go down on Fark's channel? Love the 3-0 drubbing they had against Norwich. Again, I think it's chat in the chat. One draw already, says Nick Muller. I tell you what, the GOAT, Colin Plum. Here he is. Say his name and he shall appear. Colin, I want to ask you to give me what you feel about Cookie saying, if we win at Burton tomorrow, does that mean we're going up? If we lose tomorrow, is it not going to be good enough? What do you say? You've heard what Matt said. What do you say about the Cookie about that?
I'm not too sure, really. It's a funny one, isn't it? You know, he's put that. If we win at Burton tomorrow, no, I mean, I'm just one of these people. You know, they say these kind of things, don't they, managers? You know, I'm not one for these weird kind of little comments. You know, I'm a great believer in, you know, you go everywhere, especially in a league like ours, to win the game, whatever. If you like 2-2 after 88 minutes, you accept the draw and go home. You know, but you know, you go everywhere to win, in my opinion. You know, a little bit of a funny one that is, you know, for me to weigh up, really.
All right,
I've got the ETA for Blue Punch. If you're driving from it is 2 hours. I'm on the AA route plan. It is 2 hours 57 minutes, 168.4 miles.
Don't bother. Stay at home.
You won't get that from other preview shows, right, Rich?
Rich. By the way, we'll arrange lunch for another day.
Oh yeah, sure.
All right,
just using this.
What's going on here?
That Cornish pasty, Colin. That Cornish pasty you give me on Tuesday was top notch, and it made the journey home in the roadworks when him up there knew full well that A14 was shut, Matt, and he didn't fucking tell me, did he?
Wait, you didn't put a call in?
I didn't know. I didn't know.
He knew, didn't he?
I didn't. I swear. I didn't. Right, Rich. From our supporters' point of view, a little bit of patience is important. It really, really is. These lads have bought into the project that myself, Mark, Ashton, that is, and the others have set out. Is patience needed? I know what you're going to say here, but is patience needed?
Yeah, well, I touched on it last night. Just going back to, what did you say, Matt, that we need to go up 88 points?
I reckon 88 points to take you up top 2.
Yeah, so Hull won the league last year with 89 and Peterborough was second with 87. So,
there you go. Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, patience is required. Rome wasn't built in a day, but we touched on it last night, didn't we? I don't know if you were watching, Matt. We said about the problem now is social media, isn't it? And everyone's wants everything yesterday. That's what they want.
I heard you say that.
Yeah, and he does follow that up, Matt. He does go on to say one of the things I really don't like is how every game and result gets scrutinised and the manager gets scrutinised. So what do you say to that? And then I'll ask Colin the same question. Because that's a big thing.
Yeah. Well, I know, I totally agree with Cookie there. To be honest with you, if you're going to scrutinise results after every game in the third tier, Ipswich probably isn't the club for you. Go and support somebody else who wins all the time. You know, this is the culture we're part of now. We're in the third tier. We play 46 games. It's going to be a competitive league. One I think we can win. But if you're going to scrutinise every single result, every single moment, or every single player performance, you're probably supporting the wrong club here. And Colin would tell you that as well, because he's supported it since day dot.
Colin?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah. if that's the way they, they want to look at it. I totally agree with Matt. I couldn't agree more. There's not much more I can say on that, Martin. To be honest with you.
Well, they often say, Colin, that the podcasts, Twitter, social media accelerates things these days. And you're a fan that seems sort of both sides of that coin. I'm not going to ask you if managers get less time these days because that's obvious. Doesn't need any calculation to work that one out. But scrutinise on a game-by-game basis, is that something that you used to happen with yourselves in the pub back in the day without the social media? Or is it purely because we're so connected with each other? Actually, yes, every game, every 90s. Like Arsenal tonight, for example, they get beat 3-0. That'll be the end of the world for Arteta.
Yeah. I mean, I used to go down to a pub called the Red Lion in Bury, after 10 games. There was several town fans in there I knew, and mates, and we used to scrutinise the games and everything. And on the very, very odd occasion we lost or drew against somebody we weren't expected to draw against, we'd be not very happy about it, and we'd chew it right up, kind of thing, and whatever. But I could never ever remember like being dead and lion and saying stuff like after about 5 games, "Oh, Bobby's got to go." Do you know what I mean? All stuff like that. It wasn't as bad then as it is now, Martin. No. Definitely not.
Okay. So, what are your words to the fans questioning after what has been one win, one draw, and 1 defeat?
My words, like I said last night, is patience. You've got a very, very good team on your hands. Within the next 6 or 7 weeks, 7 or 8 weeks, maybe 9 weeks, maybe tops, you're going to find this side really far, and you've got very, very good players still to come in this team, like Edmondson, like the boy Coulson, Chaplin. You ain't seen nothing of that young lad. I honestly think that boy is exceptional at this level, or will be. And the fans have just got to, they've just got to calm down a little bit, really.
Chillax.
I mean, sorry?
Chillax, as Stephen Parry.
Can you put Chris's comment back on the screen, Martin?
Chris Boyd, the question mark remains Cook. Yes, he's got the CV, but the fact remains his ITFC record is played 18, won 4, managing Ipswich in League One. It's a good point.
Yeah, it is a good point, but we all see...
Hang on, Colin. Go on.
We all see them last season, didn't we, Matt? And I said last night, it was going around on Twitter, I think it was yesterday or the day before, from the Northampton game. Do you remember when Wolfenden plays that pass in the middle of the pitch to Dazelle, and Dazelle's just... Now, this fucking bunch of shithouses could not do back-to-back training sessions. They didn't want to know. If they did, would they have been out the door? No, they wouldn't. So, yes, take on board what happened last season, but you have to park that. That's gone. That's it. Let's move on from that, and let's see what we can do this season with players who actually want to be at the club and who want to play for the fans, want to play for the manager. And I think there won't be many times this season. We might come away from games disappointed, but I think they'll leave it all out on the pitch. And I'll tell you what, as a fan, I can take defeat when you've seen the effort they've put in. What I can't take is when they wave the white flag, like we were doing last season. We were watching them games, didn't we? Rochdale falling asleep
Wimbledon.
on the spot. You fell asleep, didn't you? 3-0 at AFC Wimbledon, 3-0 at Northampton.
We fell asleep. We fell asleep during games. How bad could it have got?
Exactly.
That said, I do want to counter that, Matt, because I've been a large proponent of people that have said, look, that wasn't good enough last year. A collapse with Ipswich Town, playing Wimbledon, shouldn't be necessarily all reflected on that playing squad. Because, yes, they weren't good enough, but they also equally could argue weren't being motivated enough or inspired enough. I've got to play devil's advocate.
Motivate themselves. I don't agree with that. They should motivate themselves.
I've got to play devil's advocate here. I've got to. So, Matt, that record is a fact. 3-0 defeats to AFC Wimbledon is a fact. You've been a large Cookie supporter. So what do you make of that stat? And how do you then take that and reflect it into what you're seeing now with what Dennis Edwards rightly says is people is a whole new team. So how do you balance that as a fan?
Yeah, I don't think there was any doubt in Cook's mind that he thought when he came in last season he'd be able to get us in the top 6, because we was always on the periphery, weren't we, with not very good performances. And I think it probably shocked him and surprised him. And he said so much himself that it was keeping him awake at night. The fact that he couldn't motivate this team or find the right tactics. He tried a lot of different tactics, didn't he, to try, and because he came with a reputation of just doing 4-2-3-1, and that was set in stone, wasn't it? But he tried a lot of different things, couldn't work. Probably dented his confidence a little bit, given that he's got such a good CV at this level and with Wigan. So I think he dented his confidence a little bit. But now he's got the players he wants, the players he's cherry picked with Mark Ashley. He's now got those. As Rich rightly says, players that want to be here, players that have dropped down a division just for him. That's what Chaplin said. I wouldn't have dropped down for nobody else but Paul Cook. Speaks volumes of the man we've now got at the helm. But yeah, I think he did. I think he dented his confidence last season. But now he's managed to put that squad together that he wants, and a lot of people have left. It's we're between eras now. We're into a new era. He straddles 2 eras, doesn't he? The Evans era and that the teams that dated back to Paul Jewell. And then we've got the new players here. I mean, as Rich says, we were falling asleep on the sofa. I mean, bloody Guion sticking that free kick into the bloody stand. Remember?
Oh, I do. Colin, before I let you go, score prediction, please, for tomorrow.
Oh, well, I'm not going to change my mind. I'm going 1-3. I think the away games will help us. I really believe that. I think we'll play on the counter. I think with pace and strength, which we didn't have last season, I think will help us big time. I'll go 1-3. Lastly, Martin, I've got to say this. Firstly, to Matt, thank you for your kind words earlier. Very much appreciated. I've done that, obviously because you're a very, very good friend. Rich, I'd just like to say to you, you're a great mate. I haven't felt too good today. As you both know, I don't know if Matt knows, I haven't felt very well today. I feel a bit better now. Thank you, Martin, for the little chat we had this afternoon. You're 3 very, very good friends of mine. Good night. I've got to go.
Love you, Colin.
Take care.
Speak to you tomorrow, mate.
He's a great guy. Rich, something else Cookie said in his conference. If we go back in time, there have been a lot of successful managers who haven't started particularly well. Klopp didn't win a trophy at Liverpool for 4 years. So Alex Ferguson was going to be sacked early doors. Bobby Robson was a manager that, the fan base was wavering on. Big names that he mentioned himself. What do you make of Cookie bringing those people into it?
Well, I remember. So I don't know if you remember, Matt, Sir Alex. I remember the Nottingham Forest Cup game where Mark Robbins scored a goal to keep him in a job. They went on to win that FA Cup that year. They beat Palace in the replay. The rest is history. So it's interesting he's bringing them names up, but he must feel I think he probably feels under pressure from himself. I know, because we go back to last season, and I know we say the players weren't good enough. Cookie will look at himself and probably think, I wasn't good enough there. He has thrown the players under the bus, but he will look at himself and think, I could have done more. And he would have been disappointed with himself, surely. He's got a great CV, Matt. Look, he's done it at Portsmouth, Wigan, Chesterfield. He's been around the block. He knows what it takes. But I've got every confidence in him and this group of players. It might take a few games. It's just, we just got to just keep a lid on it. We're all stuck in that mentality where Mike Brown was right when he said the Evans mentality. That's all gone. Like I said the other week, when that game kicked off last Saturday against Morecambe at 3:00, that's gone. We park that. We move on. We've got a new team. We've got new owners. It's a brand new era, and it might take a little while to get going. And I think once it does get going, I'd agree with you, Matt. I think we'll take some stopping. I really do. But it's just, like you said today, that they'll be travelling on the coach down to Burton. I see that they were training at St George's Park today, which will be great for them. But that'll probably be the first time a lot of them have actually sat on a coach and they've actually spoke to each other.
Yeah.
No,
absolutely. I think he's brought those names into it as a little plea to the supporters, maybe. Let me get on with the job. These supporters, United or Liverpool, whoever it was, let them, the managers, get on with the job. Let me get on with the job. Don't be scrutinising people after 2 bloody games of this season. We've got a completely different squad. We've said on the show here, and Collins even said it himself, and I agree with it. It's probably going to be end of September, October before these things really start clicking. It doesn't take long to turn this, to fly up the league. We saw it with Blackpool.
It's true. That is it a little bit, Matt, of Twitter or the way we view life these days, and in the sense of if Twitter says it, it must be true. Because let's look at the general elections for a moment. I'm not going to get political, but every election Twitter has predicted has been wrong. The temperature of there has been Jeremy Corbyn running the country, blah, blah, blah. Never has panned out that way. One or two comments on Twitter, suddenly we're here talking about patience, and Cook is in press conferences saying we need patience, and clearly it's got through the walls of Portman Road. When in reality, it could just be one or two members. Like, have you seen a lot of it? Is it a mass overreaction?
Well, I mean, the way Twitter works, of course, is if you stick in the hashtag ITFC, you can see the timeline of all the chat, can't you? Yeah. So that's going to bring everything out. You're going to see optimism, you see negativity, you're going to see people that think they're...
inferior shows, they do exist.
You're going to see people on there that think they know it all. They think they're in the know. It's a whole mixed bag, right? I'm not referring to Rich here, by the way.
I do talk a lot of nonsense. I'm trying to find this message from the other night when I came out of the ground, and there was someone saying, "You've got to be doubting Cookie. He's got to go." And I'm thinking, are you actually on the wind-up? What
message would that send to the squad that have just brought into the project they're trying to do? In Cook's defence, right? He walked into the Evans era. You're now seeing how bad that Evans era was. Now you've got Mark Ashton here. Now you've got and Mike O'Leary. Now you've got two proper football men at the helm. You're all now seeing how badly run Ipswich was. And of course, then Cook's had to take over from Lambert. And Lambert was more of a, he had the charisma of a toothache, right, in his interviews. And he was kind of sleepwalking through the season in that it was kind of like, oh, we'll just finish where we finish.
I'm not having that.
And Cookie came in with this idea that we could get the top six. And he could not shake the players out of that malaise. He could not shake the players out of that. And that does reflect badly on him. I think he took that to heart. As we say, we've now got players that are into this project. This is a project. Ain't going to be ending after 2 games and Cookie going. So forget that.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, and a fan base, Rich, that famously is so patient and slow to rile. Where the fuck have we got? Where is what? This is not the Suffolk way. This is not how we operate as fans. We gave Paul Jewell about million years compared to Paul Cook.
Like I did say last night, that is just is it even a 1%, of the town fan base? Because a lot of people, Matt, are not even on social media.
Ben Moore, Lambert couldn't manage a pet shop.
Call him for one.
Yeah, they're not on social media, so they wouldn't even know the circus that it is on there.
Agreed.
And it is a circus, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's embarrassing at times. It's hysterical.
Because tomorrow night, Matt, say 5-5, look, hopefully we won't. I think we'll win. But say we lose to Burton, turn your phone off. Don't go on the timeline because
come on the show instead. Come on the show instead. Come on the show instead. Put vent on the forum that's made for you. Parry Harper was sending us to Edwards, and he wanted some of it. Julian took. Evans was clueless. Fans would run the club better. He should have listened to fans instead of hiding. Facebook user agrees with Crunch. He or she has not put their name. That's how cloak and dagger you need to be to agree with Cruncher. Like, you don't want to put your name out. You just want to make it Facebook user.
Come on.
Talking about Evans and Burton, Crunch, obviously they have gone to train with Burton, and he did say we're training at Burton today, which would be brilliant. And he had to say preparation for the game had been brilliant. Stephen Parry put a tweet out asking if it was a new thing, and I replied to him saying it's a proper football club thing, finally, for the first time in a long time. How do you, as a fan, take it that we're up there today at the state-of-the-art St George's Park? As a fan at home, how are you seeing that?
Well, the facility's there. I've never been there. You must have been there, Matt, a few times.
I've been there loads. I've stayed there loads.
And look, we've got a decent training ground, but it's nothing compared to that. And they've gone there. It's good for them to get out, do something different, isn't it? I see that he said basically they won't do a lot tonight, have a meal, and they'll go to bed, won't they? And that'll be it, and they'll be switched on in the morning. But do Burton Albion train there, Matt? Is that where they? It is.
Do they?
Yeah. It's a funny place. They've got 2 hotels there. They've got big, like Ipswich have got. They've got big indoor centre. They've got all like swimming facility and all that kind of thing. But if you stay there for like more than a few days, you feel like you're in prison. Like not for talking from experience, but it feels like an open prison. You're in the middle of this countryside, and it's miles away from the entrance. You feel like you're just locked on there. But the facilities are very good. The pitches are really well kept.
Well, we do need some. Who's it saying? Facebook uses this team bonding in there, Matt. And like normally with a pre-season, you go on a tour somewhere, wouldn't you? And they're all away, having a laugh. I know with COVID, it's been a bit different. So this is the first chance for them to get together. They'll all be. Will they be in the meal tonight? They normally have to stand up and sing a song, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
They're all going to have to do it because there's hardly anyone there who was here last season.
And the groundsman was Alan Ferguson.
Yeah, Ferguson.
Yeah. So it was all really well. It was all really well kept up there. It was nice. Yeah. It's just you just want to do a few. You don't want to do more than a few days up there. It's a funny place, but it's good. The pitches are great. Yeah.
Absolutely. I just think it's nice to see us being taking it seriously, as somebody said in the chat, preparing the right way, and yes, the team bonding wise will be really good. You've got no distractions in terms of family commitments. It's just group of mates based on
Ipswich should have gone on the day, wouldn't they, last season?
Yeah, or they would have flown up afternoon, had an evening in the hotel, and that was it. Adam, some of us have only social media as an option. What could I take from last weekend? We're either world beaters or relegation fodder. Blue punt. Exactly. Get behind the manager and the team. Our fans must be 12th man. Exactly. Stephen Parry. I think they've all got to know each other. Their looks more than 18. Yeah, it looked a good number. Next thing we've got is I picked this one out because I thought it was quite interesting. This platform, particularly last year, didn't like Paul Lambert when he didn't answer the questions or didn't actually appear to answer the questions. Some of my answers you'll get bored with. That's why I try and send the other coaches out to speak to the media. Where are you both now on other coaches, i.e. not the manager, speaking to the media? Because I remember you both being particularly upset, and I claimed it was because it was Paul Lambert, not what he was doing, but the fact it was Lambo. Where are you both now on it? Matt, you can get us off with that one.
You want to hear from the manager, really. No journalist. Stuart Watson and Andy Warren don't want to hear from Francis Jeffers. They want to hear from Cookie. I can tell you that 100%. So I don't know why you might say that. Sometimes that sounds to me like it's an under pressure manager. We know for a fact that when East Anglian ran with the kind of end of Lambert.
1-0 Brentford.
You're a bit behind there, Rich.
Yeah, we had that in the chat earlier.
I'm just checking my phone. Sorry.
You want to stop paying for those dodgy sites, mate, and get a proper connection.
I'm on the BBC website. I'm not watching the game.
We know when East Anglian ran that campaign, prompted by us, I still think, for Lambert to go. Look, he's just spat his beer out. It was no coincidence that Lambert stopped doing interviews with the media.
He was doing them everywhere else, though, wasn't he, Matt? He was doing them on every other platform.
Yeah. So Cookie said that today, did he?
Yeah, but where are you on that one, Crunch? Because forget Lambert, but where are you now and compared to where you were with Lambert when he did it?
Matt. We all want to hear from the manager, don't we? But at least he's told us how it's going to be. Whereas Lambert just went into hiding, didn't he? And then Matt Gill had come out and Stuart Taylor had come out.
He sulked, didn't he? He had a little sulk. Yeah. He was thin-skinned, Lambert. He was a thin-skinned guy. Made out he wasn't with all this bravado. The Glasgow bravado. I miss saying that. Remember that?
You love saying that. That was your favourite sayings.
I've played in Old Firm. I've played in Germany. But you're very thin-skinned, didn't you? Which is why you're not doing the media anymore.
Well, that's true. Yes.
But yeah, I would prefer to hear from Cook after the games. Although I have to say it's hard listening it with his tone changing the whole time. Sounds like
Tuesday's one was on one tone.
Yeah. That said, of course, we all had hoarse voices, didn't we, on Saturday, last Saturday?
The thing is, though, I think when he's talking about it, I think he's indicating after a game, you might not hear from me because I like to give other coaches the responsibility. So my question to you again is, if we get beat by Burton, if we get beat by Cheltenham, if we manage to get 3 from 6, 4 from 6, 2 from 6, 1 from 6, whatever we manage to get, how are you viewing it? And how are the fans viewing it? Because if Lambert did that, well, when he did do it, we weren't. No. He's not saying, look, guys, on a Thursday or Friday, you might get Franny Jeffers, you might get Cinderella, you might get whoever. No, he's kind of initiating to be after a game when the bullets have been firing, and perhaps the questioning is a bit harder.
I think Cook would only send them out probably after a victory.
What did you just say there, Martin, about the question to be harder? Don't be silly. The local journalists don't ask anything too pressing. They don't, do they? Come on.
Easy. We've ordered a pint. Fair play. Fair play. Easy.
I'm saying they don't ask too many pressing questions.
You're actually talking about Brentford. You remind me of a night out in Brentford. I only got a scrap there as well. The only away ground I nearly got in a scrap was bloody Brentford. Leeds, no problem. Brentford on Boxing Day.
Bring it on.
What do you say?
I think Cook is the kind of character that would send those up. He would go out on a loss. He would face the media on a loss. He would put Gary Robertson, Jeffers out after a win. That's the kind of impression I get from it. I'd be surprised if he put someone else up after a defeat. I would be really surprised.
Yeah, well, Chris Boyd there in the chat says post-match it should always be Cook, and I agree with him.
Yeah,
I agree with him on that one. If he's going to do like your Friday press conference, why is that not being screened somewhere?
Yeah, it's strange that, isn't it? Strange that. We used to be able to watch it on YouTube, didn't we? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Well, that was through your mate. We won't say the name, but yeah, that was through the forum. I don't know. I don't know why the club don't take the initiative of anything. Like, grab the ball by the horns, stream it.
Why can't you watch it? They're doing it on Zoom. You can stream Zoom to Facebook or whatever.
Look, don't come to me about streaming live or whatever. I know it. We're going through it ourselves. If they said to me, Martin, come and stream it live for the fans, I'll be there in 30 seconds and it'll be set up within a minute. Like, it's not difficult. We ain't reinventing the wheel here, Pup Boys. It's
and if we're at night time, it'd bring that. Matt, you missed out on that light he had. My Lord.
That was good coverage. That light was good. I was enjoying that.
I couldn't see for about the next 3 hours when I was driving home. No wonder we got lost, Colin. Couldn't see where I was going. I was blinded.
You see lights. I'm seeing shapes here.
He says he's setting all his stuff up. He says, "Don't turn it on yet. Don't turn it on yet." So I thought I had to turn it on, and it was like boom,
boom, shades.
Yeah, don't turn it on while cars are driving past, will you? It was bright.
Aircraft on the land.
Yeah, it was bright, but it's not hard. You are right. It should be something we can watch live. But at the moment, from talking to the guys at Suffolk News, they can't work out it's going to be a Thursday regularly or Friday regularly. Hence why we're here doing double duty, if you like. So I don't know what they're planning. I'll ask again. Stephen Parry, if we only see Cookie after a win and assistance after defeats, I'd be asking questions, but I don't see it that way. Yeah, Julian, I'd like to see our Ipswich active again in the FA Cup one day. Yes, give the league our best. Go forget the other egg cups. Let's try at least in the FA Cup. See, I'd rather we tried the St Johnstone's Paint Trophy because that's got more of a possibility of a good day out of Wembley.
St Johnstone's Paint Trophy.
Well, you know.
Scottish Football Club Paint Trophy. The
fizzy cola. Callie, evening all. Who's going to Burton tomorrow? Crunch. I need to know what time if I can get to the hub. Ben Moore, bring that light from Screwfix. And Lee went into the waterfront. Yeah, it was a bit bright.
I don't hold your breath on a cup run in the FA Cup. Look, we'll go
any cup
round, probably against maybe a non-league team. I'd love to play a non-league team. Maybe do a couple of rounds. We might be gone by.
It'd be more embarrassing, Matt, if we lose to bloody.
It would.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying we're going to lose to a non-league team, but we might be gone by the third round, whatever, like we had with Portsmouth last season. But yeah, we was out after 15 minutes. You tweeted that, didn't you? FA Cup run gone. 15 minutes in.
Yeah, I know. I'd done a show. No longer had I said, all right, Rob, I see at half time. We were like 4 down. It was ridiculous.
I want a Pizza Cup run because we can get to Wembley. I want to see our fans at Wembley. I want to see fans at New Wembley. We're one of like 6-7 clubs that haven't got there.
I agree. You mentioned non-league there. That is one of our wild card games this week. Trinity Red Devils versus Copplestonians. Links in the chat. 4 fixtures and the wild card. How do you see that one playing out, Matt? As you mentioned, non-league. Trinity Red Devils, Copplestonians. Neither have won yet in the league.
You've got an affinity to Trinity Red Devils.
I do. Yes.
I'm going to go. I think Copplestonians. I always think of BBC Suffolk and GMAC when I say Copplestonians. 2-1 Copplestonians. There you go.
2-1 Copplestonians. All right, fair play. Other games are available.
Other Red Devils all day long.
That's what I'm going with.
3-1. 3-1.
Yeah, their captain Sam Osborne. I was always better than him at football.
Oh, okay. Is that near you then, Trimley? Is that Stowmarket way? Is it?
If you're watching, Sam. Sorry.
Is it near Stowmarket, Trimley?
No, it's near Fix though.
Oh right, okay. I don't know the geography.
On the coast.
Well,
Callie.
Oh yeah, you don't know your geography, Matt, because last week when you were going to the Morecambe game, I see you on Twitter with your video putting Portman Road in. I thought, I know you've not been there for a long time, but it's not actually changed where it is.
I said that to him. I actually applied to know that on the tweets.
And the irony is, of course, if I'd put that in on Tuesday night, it might have taken me a different route.
Callie, we'll be at Wembley next season when we finish 5th and go to the Premier League in playoffs back-to-back promotions. Wow, big one. Stowmarket in Cup says Nook Muller. Adam says 2-0 to Burton tomorrow. Colin Plum says Southgate at Brentford tonight. Possible Arsenal manager in the future. Who knows? No, I'm not really going there. Right. Cookie, we've got so many new lads in the building, so many different permutations of players. What is our best team? We don't know. Does that worry you at any point when a manager says we don't know what our best team is?
Oh, no, not particularly. Because of the turnover of the squad. We've got some real quality in now. We've got to work out who's going to play where. We haven't done one game.
Yeah.
You have your certain players, like Harper and Evans, nailed on every week in the league, aren't they?
Haladke, obviously in goal.
Yeah, Piggott's your 9 all day long.
Well, he is now. Norwood's definitely out.
No, I'm not sure. What about Macaulay? He's my player of the year and top scorer, remember?
Oh, you see, I like Bon. I'd play Bon with Pigott.
Ah, you're jumping on the bandwagon now.
I'd like Bon. Well, I watched Bon on Tuesday night. Some of us turned up for that game.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah, thanks.
he was tremendous. Really, honestly, tremendous. Deserved a goal for the hard work. I ran out of Twitter characters. I would have said that, but I couldn't fit it in the tweet. But, of course, numpties jumped all over it.
You never did give you a rating for Louis Barry?
No. 6 out of 10. It's fair to say it's 6 out of 10. Yeah, it's fair to say it's 6 out of 10. He was all right, nothing too special.
What did he remind you of then in terms of his style? People that didn't get to the game like myself, what kind of style did he bring to the game? Who would you liken him to in terms of?
Well, I want to be positive, so I'll say. I mean, in terms of our squad, Armando Dobra. But when people say about Armando Dobra being a star, they need to watch Louis Barry play.
You're not in there, are you?
That's what a star looks like.
Yeah. yeah.
I
mean, look, Villa paid 4, as Chris said, Villa paid 4 million to take him out of La Masia in Barcelona to bring him to Villa Park. That's potential, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got bags of it. Ben Moore, Pigott could be a number 10. He drops off and leaves Bon up top. Yeah, I think the way he brought Bon on with Norwood, I think if you played Pigott with Bon, that'd be as good. Final.
Then where does your man Fraser go?
Well, I'm not the one building the squad. I perhaps wouldn't have brought in a couple of players.
I've only watched him, Martin Fraser, for a game and a little bit, and he is class. He is a class player.
Yeah, he really is.
You can just see him when he gets the ball, he makes things happen. Not the quickest, but he'll get plenty of goals and plenty of assists this season. I've got no doubt about that.
You need to be the quickest if you make the ball do the work, do you?
Absolutely. On to teams for tomorrow. Before we do, Rich, last question, or last comment from Cookie this week was, I'm very much a manager who believes in getting it right on the training ground. Repetition of work, shape, and results take care of themselves. That's the path I'll follow. That said, where does that leave the newbies, and how concerned are you now about Edmondson reading that? Because shape on the pitch, well, you've got a game Saturday, day off Sunday, maybe something light on Monday, game on Tuesday, Wednesday day off, Thursday could be a proper session.
He's
Friday,
been training this week, I believe. He's been training. I think he'll play. I think he'll play in the 23s on. I think is it Monday they play Coventry.
But that's not shape with the first team. So at what point?
Yeah, but I said, listen, you're losing the plot. You need to keep calm. He's only missed one game, 2 tomorrow. If he misses 3 or 4 games and plays the rest of the season, the rest of the 42 games, it doesn't concern me.
This is my question to you. At what point will he? Because if you're going on repetition of training and shape, etc., with the training regime coming in with Tuesday night being a problem, at what point is he going to be dropped in?
I think that's the only Tuesday, isn't it? Until, is it October? I know they got Papa John's.
So is it AFC or MK that you're looking like Edmondson's being first? It might be his first game, because I would say AFC based on that comment.
Yeah, I agree. But that doesn't concern me.
It does me.
No.
Janai Thanasian and Luke Wolfen, you're starting 2 centre halves. Matt, if I said that to you in late June, early July, what and how quickly would you jump out of that door?
Yeah, I mean, I do get that. Again, we've said it before, haven't we? Janoi suffers from the fact Lambert didn't rate him, and now no one knows where he plays. He did very well when he come on Saturday. Did he play? Am I right in thinking he played on Tuesday?
Yeah, right back.
He was captain, wasn't
Yeah, but right back.
Oh, he was a right back, was he? Yeah. Look, it's not ideal. Edmondson's been. They've paid big money for Edmondson for a reason. They want him to play, but he's carrying this knock. I still think we're going to get this other centre back in. I mean, Scott Dan got released by Palace, didn't he, this week? Born in Liverpool. The whole bench coaching staff is Scouse Mafia. I just wonder if there's a conversation there. It'd be interesting to see when it. Only 34, same age as Chamber, but obviously with better pedigree.
The thing that concerns me, Mark, I'm not. Danassian can do a job. I did say, I think on Sunday's back, I think he could do 10 or 15 games. Wolfie played, I thought he was half decent the other night, but it concerns me that he plays on the left-hand side because you see with the goal we conceded last Saturday, the equaliser, he's not really, look, he should have rosetted it, but I want him to play on the right-hand side, but then you've got two right footers tomorrow, haven't you? Danassian and him. I think Edmondson slots in that left-hand centre-back side. So that's the only concern I've got. But I just want Edmondson to, when he comes in the team, to be fit. And if he has to miss another couple of games, that doesn't really concern me. And with the centre-back, who we're going to sign somebody, I'll be shocked if we didn't. If we have to wait till the end of the window to get the right player, that doesn't concern me.
Yeah, I'm not sure I believe Cookie when he says that, though, Matt, about shape and repetition. Purely from a point of view of, Toto's out for a while. You know where Edmondson is or is not.
Yeah.
I would have gone with Janoi Danassian and Luke Wolfenden. Get them playing. Get that partnership growing. Because on Saturday, I'm going to need them both to play. Suddenly, you're moving Janoi from centre to right, back to centre.
We played right back 9 on Tuesday. Because we haven't got one.
Totally irrelevant. It's an unimportant position. If you've got a right back in the football club, then you're bigger problems than I can possibly ever imagine. You haven't got a 16-year-old who can pop in for 90 minutes. The point is, repetition, he says, but yet you saw Danassian at right.
Well, I think with Cook, I mentioned this earlier, because he's so ingrained in this 4-2-3-1, I think he probably is a repetition kind of guy. Now, how that works on the training ground, I don't know, because we don't go up there to have a look.
We will be soon. When are we allowed to go and watch? Because they did say...
We're not.
Martin's going to be there with a little flask in the deck chair.
We're not. I've said, right, he said we can come up. When can we come up? Oh, well, COVID means that we haven't got anything in place, so not this year.
So it's not, all right, not this year.
That's what I think I'll look at the email while you're talking, but I'm pretty sure that's what it said. So basically, it's one of those, pop round, mate. Anytime you're up this way, pop round. You don't actually mean it. You just, talk.
Yeah, don't bother coming. Yeah. I think Cook is probably from that school of where they do go over each practice painstakingly. I remember being away with England under 19s in Czech Republic, and Stuart Pearce, all he did with Brian Eastick, who was the manager, was out to defend a throw-in for like 90 minutes. Not the greatest watch in the world, let me tell you. But I mean, Danassian can play left side of that too, anyway, because he's played zillions of games as a left back at Accrington and Fleetwood. So I wouldn't worry about that particularly.
Okay, here we go. Open train session arranged for this pre-season. A lot of issues need to be discussed for host plans at Playford Road, parking being one of the key issues.
Get a bus.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so
they did say that, though, didn't they? Come out and see us train. They did say that.
And they didn't expect Mr. Eager here with his little iPhone camera, his little roadie microphone. Can I get it if you?
Flask and a ham sandwich. I'm here. Where can I go?
Can you open your DMs for me, please, so I can give a follow? Oh, brilliant! Right, teams for tomorrow, then, guys. You've both gone for the same 11.
Have we?
No, except one position. Right? Okay. Can you guess which position you differ on?
I'm presuming this is Fraser, right?
No.
Is Matt playing one?
It's left back. It's left back.
It's left back. That's right. We've got the medium mogul 11. You've gone for Coulson at left back.
Yeah, why not? Give him a go.
And Richard's gone for Penny. So we'll start with you, Matt. Why Hayden Coulson at left back?
Well, again, he's one of these players that's come on loan for a reason. We're not going to let people go on loan if they ain't going to be playing games, because he said, go down there, make a statement, come back and stake a claim in the Middlesbrough team. But you ain't going to stake a claim if you're on the bench.
Callie.
Read that one out for anyone listening.
Surely one of us can use Norwood's parking space.
I think maybe. Look, I thought Rich would put Penny in, so I went with Coulson just for a different option, a different talking point. Look, he's been out injured. He did score 2 goals in that game, didn't he, Rich? We remember in that pre-season game. But he's been out injured. He's also been self-isolating, so he might not be 100% fit.
Yeah,
But,
they said he had quite a strong bout of COVID, didn't he, Cook, he said?
Yeah. So he's probably not 100% fit. I would imagine he'll be on the bench. I don't think Penny did too much wrong last week, in all honesty. He could have scored, hit side netting. I think he did okay. He's better than Kenlock anyway.
Okay.
We could put ball in the box for starters.
Rich, why have you gone for Matt Penny?
I thought he was decent. last week. I like the way the 2 fullbacks played really high up the pitch. That excited me because I thought he improved second half. I didn't think he was that great first half, but second half, that diagonal ball that Evans kept pinging out to both sides, Penny got in, didn't he, 2 or 3 times back down that side. And like you say, one of them he nearly scored. I think it's harsh if you drop him after one game. I think Coulson in time will be the first choice left back. I've got no doubt about that because, like you say, he's not come here to sit on the bench, has he?
No, I don't think any lone player comes here to sit on the bench, which obviously brings us to the Piggott selection. But we'll see that.
Yeah, well, particularly a player that you've sort of coveted all summer long in Coulson. Ben Moore gone for an interesting one. Wolfen and Darber as the 2, with Penny at left and KV White.
Darber's not good enough, and Darber ain't good enough.
What are we basing in Darber on? We've not really seen him play, have we? It's going to be Janoy all day, isn't it? He come on as a sub last week. It'd be Janoy all day.
I saw him Tuesday. That was enough. Some players on the pitch Tuesday, like Humphreys, Adam, and Cameron, were both
very good.
Yeah, both.
Very good.
Near the mark.
Talk to me about Cameron Humphreys, because didn't he play in that game at Bury Town? But he was on the wing then. I'm sure he was.
He set the goal up, didn't he, for Jackson? He played left side last year, didn't he, in the Youth Cup semi-final? I was impressed with him in that game, but I thought he looked a really good player the other night. Guys, Brilliant. He got on the ball, didn't he? Did he give the ball away? Hardly.
No.
Might need to bulk up a little bit because he's
only
a young lad. Yeah, definitely. But I was really impressed with him. But we've been impressed with a lot of youngsters before, and then we've just been disappointed. So let's not pump his tyres up too much.
Yeah, don't hype him too much. Yeah, absolutely.
What I said on the post-game show on Tuesday, whoever comes in needs to be a short-term option because within 18 months, I think he'll be ready to be certainly a third man of a 2-man midfield or pushing for a start. He's a really good player. I was surprised at how good he was. I hadn't quite seen that. And then Tuesday, he'd
probably benefit from a loan, wouldn't he? Going and playing.
Not this point in his career. I think it's a little bit too early for a loan. I think he needs the good facilities, his senior manager around him, drilling him, and the weight room. I mean, I'm not sure what Chelsea's weight room is like, but and I know they'd use the facilities through the week, but it's just a little bit. I think he's more suited to here.
You need to build your confidence up for a loan. It's a big, like Adam Tanner told us way back on one of the first shows. It's a big deal going on loan. You might be going, 100 miles away, 200 miles away from your home. You've got to go there with a little bit of confidence, haven't you, that you can make an impact. Otherwise, why would you be going on loan in the first place?
He's another one, El Mazzuni. He was okay the other night, wasn't he?
He was too deep. He was
okay, but he's another one. I don't think he'll make it at Town. Don't think he'll make it.
Yeah.
He's at the age where if you're going to make it, you're already a part of the plan. Do you know what I mean? Like you're not talking about Joe Morale, who today said that he had a great offer from another club, but turned them down. You are on that plan, if you like, and he obviously wasn't. Morale was. So we're going to bring somebody else in. Colin Plum picked the pass all night. Humphreys, but Ndaba for me, back to Ndaba, he looked just slightly off it compared to the rest of the young players, and a bit of a gap between him and the starting 11. That said, Scott Fraser came on again, looked really good. Colin loves Scott Fraser. I like Scott Fraser. Where do you both play Scott Fraser? Because in your team, I think I've got you playing Fraser out wide on the left on both of you.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Scott Fraser then.
Well, the reason, obviously, because that's where Cook played him last week, so I'm thinking he ain't going to change a winning team. Plus the fact that if you want to go 4-4-2, you can push Chaplin up as that second striker. But as you quite rightly said, Martin, after you watched one of the friendlies, probably the Millwall game, Fraser's not really been brought here to play left side, I'm afraid. He's been brought here to be number 10. And as the guy, I think it was one of the guys said on the show Sunday, I can't remember who it was, maybe Lee actually, Lee Hansen. where Fraser scored his goal, the goal that got us back in the game, was from that number 10 spot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, the ball in from Chaplin, lovely ball in from Chaplin, and he was Johnny on the spot and scored it.
He's never going to get chalk on his boots, is he, Matt Fraser?
No, exactly. Exactly. So it's a weird one at the moment, but I mean, maybe, I don't know, someone like one of the other, Edwards, was it?
Yeah.
One of those sides. I don't know. It's an interesting one. Certainly, he's not his natural position. That's for certain. It's not his natural position.
I've never heard a compliment also be about like as Collins put it here.
Oh,
I know what he means, but he's also gushing over him as well. So I've never heard a compliment put in such a way where he's slighting him while not meaning to slight him. Chaplin for me though, Rich, is that chalk on your boots type player? Well, certainly more than Fraser. He's got a bit of pace about him, bit of ability about him. He's more of a winger than Fraser's ever going to be.
Yeah, I would have thought they'd sort of switch positions. He needs to. No, I agree with you. He won't. I'm interested to see him tomorrow. And he was quiet first half last week, as was Piggott.
Yeah,
they both came into the game more second half. That was a really lovely goal. If you watch back the first goal, the passing move we played, a little ball around the corner for Chaplin, and then he slotted in Fraser. Great finish. When you look at that goal, he didn't have a lot of side. He put it right in that side netting, didn't he? He didn't have a lot to aim at there, but that was a really good goal. But yeah, Chaplin, interesting tomorrow. I do agree with Lee a little bit. I think we'll have a little bit more space tomorrow to play our football, being the away team. I think at home they just sat in a little bit, didn't they? Especially second half, Morecambe made it hard, and that is how teams will play at Portman Road, and that's why I'd have Fraser in the 10 to open the teams up. Really slide them little balls in.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. It's the first away game. Let's see if he goes with a different approach. We've gone with the 4-2-3-1. He said every team, every game will be approached on its merits, and we will not always play the same way at home than away, etc. Let's see. He might put Fraser in the middle. He might go with a bit of pace out wide. It'll be interesting to see what he means with that.
We've got an abundance of options now, but Burton play 4-2-3-1 as well. They play that style too. So exactly. I mean, we could be going.
Can you put that comment up about Norwood?
Nigel Price, does it bug people that the club say offers for Norwood and then immediately gets injured? Ain't going to get offers now.
Who cares about Norwood? He's injured. Forget about him. We've got more than enough now. Last season, he was our main player. And if you listen to Lee Anderson, if Norwood had played every week, we'd have been in the playoffs. Well, no, we wouldn't, because we were shit. But Norwood being injured now, is it really going to hurt us? Not.
He did make the assist. He did make the assist for McCauley's goal last week. It was
he did. And he done well when he came on. But we've got a lot of options, Matt, now off the bench. Yeah. So be it. You know, if he's injured, like I said on Tuesday's post-match show, he's like that sports car, Matt, that you've got. Shiny sports car. The bodywork looks great. You lift the bonnet up, the engine's knackered.
I thought he did all right when he came on. Martin thought he kind of like broke the game up too much. But now we've got one less quality. We've got one less good option off the bench. You know, the bench is weakened with him not being.
Will Jackson be on the bench tomorrow?
Yes. Blue Punch. Humphreys look very good. We need one more central midfielder. Fraser, number 10, all day long. Right, 2 minutes after the show. I want to finish on the hour. Tell me very quickly. MK Dons have announced their new manager.
Promise. He was picking it up earlier. The missus is home.
Right, that's him gone.
Oh, come on. You tell me it's all about banter on here because
you don't get Manscaped jewels without wanting to use them.
We haven't got our Manscaped items.
I was going to say something else then. Right, yeah. MK Dons, new head coach with Ipswich Town roots and Chris Hogg in tow. What are your thoughts?
Oh, there he is, Chris Hogg. There he is. I didn't know he was there. He was at Newcastle, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. He was here, then he went to Newcastle, and now he's joined up with, the name escapes me.
Liam Manning.
Liam Manning, yeah. So, I mean, he comes with a great pedigree. Okay, yeah. He didn't make it as a professional.
It's not my fault, Adrian.
I don't know. Is he related to Neil Manning, who used to be on the East Anglian Daily Times? Are they related?
Best and blue, bald and blue. He's made his testes look their besties.
Yeah.
20% off with the code TT.
There used to be a journalist on the East Anglian who wrote for the Greening called Neil Manning. I just wonder if Liam is related to him somehow. But I mean, he's got a great CV. He was director of technical at New York City. Went and managed in Sweden. Left there.
West Ham as well, wasn't he, Matt? West Ham.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So I mean, he's one of these kind of like been around football all his life, not made the grade as a professional.
Obviously, he was at Town.
Got ingrained. Got ingrained in the coaching and got an opportunity. Fair play.
What did you say? Guaranteed relegation.
This is Rich's dark horse.
I think it's a really interesting appointment for him. I think they're that sort of club, aren't they?
It's got drowned all over it.
Yeah, it has. But then look at Neil Critchley at Blackpool. He come out of Liverpool system as a coach. Took a long time to get going at Blackpool. Now they're in the Championship. So you just have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see. So are you adjusting your pre-season conceptions now you know who the manager is, Crunch? Dark horses you had.
No. I think it's a really interesting appointment for him. It will be really interesting to see how they go moving forward. Obviously, we'll see him next Saturday at Town. But yeah, I think they were always, that was the model they were going to go for, weren't they? A younger coach, because obviously Russell Martin, he was similar age.
And it's a cheap option, but we've made possibly good potential.
I was talking to Colin earlier, Matt, and you go Graham Potter when he was appointed at Brighton. You know, he come from nowhere. No one really knew anything about him. Where was he in Iceland? Was it Iceland he was in?
Sweden as well.
Sweden,
they all laughed, and they all laughed when he was appointed. I was doing the Championship.
What was the guy that we were interested in when Mick went, the Dutch guy?
Oh, yes, I can't remember the name, but yeah, you're absolutely right.
And Morris, was it Morris Stein?
Morris
Stein.
Yes.
Morris Stein.
Coming through with the knowledge.
Right. Potter was interviewed at Ipswich, you know.
Was he?
He was interviewed at Ipswich, yeah, but Hurst got the job.
Says it all. You didn't set a target anyway. Everyone watching, you didn't set a target tonight for the likes.
Well, I did. I didn't. Ben Moore did. He went 127 of them. 127. How many we got?
10.
No, a bit more than 10. I just think the MK Dons appointment is certainly one that is a Winkleman hire. When the rest of the league are zagging, MK Dons are always zigging. They're all, do you know what I mean? Fair play to them. Good luck. I think they're going to drown, but good luck. Callie says, catch you guys tomorrow. Gotta go. Love Island's on. You've rumbled me. That's why I'm now going to go as well.
What's the score going to be tomorrow then, boys? What are we thinking?
Score tomorrow is going to be 3-1.
Interesting. Rich? 3-1 as well?
I'm going to go for a 2-1 Town victory. I think we might go behind, but I think we'll Piggott will get on the mark, and I think Fraser.
Coming from behind is no bad thing, you know. What?
Oh, man.
Oh, for Christ's sake, you two. What's wrong with you?
You started it. I think tomorrow's gonna be a really tough game tomorrow. They did their fan form this week. Yeah, they did their fan form this week. So Ben Robinson, their chairman, Jimmy Floyd, obviously, and Dino Mamria, I think his name is, who's his assistant. Mm-hmm. And they had 6 debutants at Shrewsbury last week and won 1-0. They dominated the game. They just held on. They grinded out the victory. I think it'll be tough tomorrow. I would not be surprised if we lose. I think we've probably got enough in our squad to say we can get a point. But I don't know if we'll get 3 tomorrow. I think it'll be tough. I've
been there 3 times, Matt, and I've seen us win every time. So
okay, well, that's a good omen, isn't it? That'd be a good omen. Yeah. There's a feel-good factor around Burton at the moment. They're buzzing with him back and the new season, and you know how they escaped relegation and climbed up the table. I think the form table would have shown they'd have finished top 6, wouldn't they?
Top two. I think they were in such good form, weren't they? He fits that club, doesn't he? Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank.
Yeah,
he's been to other clubs.
He won him a League 2 title. He got to the top of League 1 and then got headhunted by QPR. Yeah, exactly. He's hand in glove there. Absolutely. Yeah. Good. Yeah, he's doing better.
We've got Ben Moore, the comment of the year, but we're not going to put it on the screen. Blunch and Blow Punch gone 1-2. Josh has gone 2-1. Don't. I'll mute you. Colin Plum, great ground for us. Well, win, lose or draw, we're live at the pre-game show 2:30. Myself, Vicky, Coxie, and Matty, and then we're live again at full time to have your say as fans. Cruncher, we're joining us. Yeah, and you. I'm about to get to you.
You'll be there on the ground.
You'll be there. You're our entry point. You're our
12 o'clock tomorrow.
You're our boots on the ground.
I'll see you Sunday. I'll see you Sunday.
You will. So Cruncher joining us from the ground. You guys and girls, hopefully after the game, to give your say on what could be. Well, yeah, was that or an explosive meltdown? Quicker than a chocolate fire guard. But either way, we'll be there tomorrow live 2:30. See you then. Come on, you Blues.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better without what's been holding us back.